All right, everybody's here. All the important people are here. Good morning, LJ Go. Good morning officially. The recording is started, and we are off and running on the Market Watch Group Wednesday Market Midpoint. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. Good morning, Gene. Good to see you. As always, keep in mind what we do is for education illustrated purposes only. Nothing is intended to be a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. Yeah. Okay. What are we going to do? Futures are down. Why? Well, because the good vibrations between us and the Chinese appear to be running into some friction. What? You say? What? I thought for sure there would be no problem. But, apparently there is. Good morning, Kevin. Good to see you. We'll look at our posture. We will kind of think about the trades that we're in. And go from there. Let me advance my slide. Give me just 1 second here. Okay, let's get to it. Where is my futures? Tax bill may have cleared one of its final hurdles. As soon as Wednesday, U.S.-China tensions over chips put trade truce at risk. Okay, I mean, here's the thing. I would say that any remaining trades are tightening stops, already booked a good amount. That was mostly what we've been talking about. And looking for setups more than anything. So a minor pullback, 0.7, 0.93 on the Dow, 0.72 on the NASDAQ, 1.25 on the Russell. Closed 5 yesterday, Bob Walker says. See? Yeah. I mean, it's not like we're like, whoa, what's going on? We have how could this happen? I think we were kind of looking for this. Let's read through and just kind of see what the market's thinking about. Trying to push retailers to eat tariff prices. I just don't see, how do you push for that? Where they just lose money and then report horrible earnings? I don't know. That'll be an interesting thing to see what happens there. United Health sinks amid report of secret nursing home kickbacks. Oh man, United Health. That's that is not in a good way. I haven't looked at it in a little while, but let's just see what's cracking there. So they got this little bounce here, and we're at 321, and it's set to open back down here around 300, and goodness. Giant U.S. companies are rushing to Europe to borrow money. Took a paper trade on it. Okay. Nice. A put or a rebound on the bounce? What? Tell me, and how did it go? UNH, I win if it doesn't go over 320. Well, it was at 325, and it was looking like it was really running out of steam. So yeah, that'll be interesting. A couple of different plays going there. What else? Target slashes guidance. Bond jitters are back. Mortgages rise to 3-month high, slowing home demand. Yeah. There's really not much going on. What day is today? The 21st. Just some Fed speak tomorrow. Jobless claims. Friday. It's really not much. Not much news. Next week, what do we get? Nothing on Memorial Day. Don't forget, holiday. Long weekend. No meetings Monday. Tuesday, consumer confidence. Wednesday, Fed minutes. Thursday, first GDP revision. Okay, Friday. That's kind of the next big, look at that chunk of data. Income, spending, PCE, and a consumer sentiment number. Okay. Oh, but not much until then. Put a hedge on yesterday on the SPY. Very nice. Very nice. Love it. I really didn't have enough to hedge yet. Having closed a significant amount for profits. And same thing. Bob said he closed 5 yesterday. When we look at this, that's the move, right? We got this move, we got this consolidation, we've got this move, and are we thinking similar, like a consolidation is possibly here? Yeah. I mean, this is happening. This is before the market. Now we're going to open down at 588, and certainly the hedge makes sense. The booking of profits makes sense. The tightening of stops makes sense. The waiting for the next. I mean, everything that we've been talking about. I think, hearing you guys executing it, it's great. It's great. First home in 74, 8.75% mortgage. There you go. I think my dad told me he had one in like 1980 or 81 that was like 14% or 15% or something like that. Something insane. But he said he bought some bonds at the same time that he ended up cashing in on and did phenomenal. So anyway. All right, let's keep going. Market is, let's look at this perspective with the futures for just a second. Yeah, it looks like it looks like we should be patient for the next round of entries to show up. Any pullback, last big candle like that, that's my halfway point right there. This is going to move on up. So yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a good window. There's the flag. Our market posture, let's remind ourselves. So does a little ramp up in the news startle us? No. Why? Because we're trading a good wave of momentum. We just got a nice, strong surge in underlying market fundamentals. That's better. So, yeah, no, I feel great. We just got a higher high. Now we're waiting for the pullback. So we should be thinking to ourselves, what? Trade setups all week long. Now, what about the trade that's already on? Or the trades that are already on? So there's a chance that you start closing the remaining pieces. I'm trying to think where there would still be some. IBM, Yeah. I mean, you might have started closing if you hadn't already, even more. It's definitely showing a hard time getting through this 270 level here. This one is going to give some back. Boom. You can see there it is. So now what? Now you wait to work yourself out. Yes. Don't let it stop you out. 100%. 100%. Don't let it stop you out on the open. Let's let this thing open and move around a little bit. Find its range. Then it's time to work out. It's a hard thing because it won't mark. It won't mark what you would have sold at. Like, you can't really see it. That's what's so hard is you're like, are you sure, Scott? And maybe you've had a few times where it did stop out on the open, and when you saw the price, you're like, my God, what happened? How did it possibly go that far down? I don't understand. And then you watch it and you're like, God, we're at white. Literally, if you looked at it that same minute, you're like, right now, 2 minutes later, I could get a better price. I don't. It's hard to explain, but yeah. And it's hard to, like, when we first watched it, it opened and then it went down a little, and you're like, oh, should I have? Let's stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. What else? Where else was there some trades that were still GDX? Gold should be fine. And there it is. Gold doing what gold does. That's part of why we look for some of those trades that are a little bit more off cycle, that are not correlated to the rest of the market. So that's good, looking good and working. Where else? EA, sorry, there it is. I was like blinking. EA. Yeah. I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, this one really opened at yesterday's open, you know? We had initially had a stop down here around 145.75. Talked about the ability to move it up to like 148.75. 150.06. Low 149.97. I mean, I'm not going to say it's too tight. I would prefer with this Heikin-Ashi low here that you just drop it about 15 cents. It gets you below 150, the round number, and it gets you right just a little underneath that Heikin-Ashi low. I'm going to request 15 additional cents. I mean, I know it's not my trade. I'm just saying. I'm putting a request in. That's all. Filing the paperwork. That's where mine will be. I'm just saying. At this point. Yeah, I want to get tight with it. I want to get tight with it at this point. I was underneath, and now it's kind of like, look, this one is why more so this one? Because, you know, Press already lost his patience with it. This is what we wanted, and this is what it's doing. There's a divergence here. It needs to either catch up or we're done. We're not going to let it do the opposite, right, at this point. But here's what I would say. I feel like we're giving it every opportunity to come to fruition, and then we're done. And if we're out at that point, it's really going to be a marginal loss. Great opportunity. A lot of great rationale behind the trade, and sometimes trades just don't work out. Like, I mean, there's not really an explanation. So anyway, good discussions. Is there any other ones that people are in? Throw the symbol. Let's talk about it. Okay, Let's get to the top. Uber, done. I'm going to leave it on Heiken Ashi just in case it needs to be there. Oh, I mean, the Heiken Ashi, yeah. What this tells me is this bullish move is done. It may consolidate for 3 easy days. It may consolidate for, something bigger like back here. We don't know, but yeah, it looks like it was a nice catch, and now it's coming back down. Okay. Yeah, if Apple stabilizes right here, this halfway point, I think that's reasonable. Small position on QQQ. Bullish. If it's, probably, and most things, tech right now are doing what? Just a gradual little pullback, right? Just a gradual consolidation. It's tough. If you're in it, you're like, well, do I just hang on? I would draw a line in the sand and say, hey, if it doesn't break below this, let's see. If it can just bounce, if it breaks below that, let's see where the next entry will come. Bearish. Okay, well then now what we have is that's the top. And you think it's going to drop. Now, this is a bullish looking stock, so be very, very careful not to let a bear trade then distract you from your ability to see the reversal for the next bullish move. Yes. All right, love it. Where were we? Amazon. Could I speak to hedging a little bit? Yes, I will. 100%. Sandy, I think, got caught with this. She's like that candle. She said she gave it a try and bombed. Still looks like it could be setting up. That's the hard thing about that, right? Is this wait for that stochastics to give us a little bit more confirmation. And that would probably, but yeah, we would love to see Amazon show that strength. APH, a little bit of a flag developing there. BAC, now BAC looks like it's starting to set up, but you guys know MS we just had a great trade on MS. I want another one. It was anticipatory, so I love it. I love that you flagged it as such. I love that you learned from it. I don't think you bombed at all then. I think the anticipatory trade didn't work out. That's what happened. Caterpillar starting to pull back. That's looking bullish, looking for a setup there. Yeah, this looks great. This pullback looks great. Still in CME. Oh, that's another one we still have on. CME is still doing its thing. Great. Can we be tightening stops to make sure? There you go. Tony said still has a piece of this as well. Now, we talked about this candle yesterday, and we said this is a concerning candle on the Heiken Ashi. It's a deterioration of momentum candle, but it doesn't mean it's over. And you can see it's like, well, hey, look, we're getting this, and if another one comes, then we're back in business. So right now we could have a stop underneath this low here, 240, 275 and change, 275.25. At the end of today, move the stop up to 276.45 and just keep giving it some ability, and if we get to Friday, that's 2 more days, then it's a different conversation, because then we have a long weekend, and then we say, you know what, I might take, even if it still looks like it has what I need to stay in the trade, I'm going to take a piece off book a gain, take the risk out of the trade. CNP. Let me get back out of this. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Yeah, this one never amounted to as much, so. Love it, Sandy. Love it. Cisco flagging looks great. Looks great. Delta setting up. Just got a new high. Pulling back. Sellers aren't, look at the volume. Sellers aren't doing much here. Here's the Dow. Am I still on the hiking? No, standard now. Standard now. This just has some crazy candles through here. Here is EA. Okay, so adjusted stop, giving it some room, trying to see. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. Take the loss. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable, actually, with how this is managed. Give me your thoughts on that one. Bending like water. There you go. There you go. Okay. GE Vernova. Man, I'll tell you what. I said as this pulled back, but this was just too much. Right? This was too big. Did anyone pull the trigger on that? It was such a big confirmation day. Gold still pushing higher. Google still setting up, I think. Goldman is definitely setting up. If you like Goldman, I like Morgan right now. I think Hilton is still setting up. Yeah, that was a hard entry day. It was a big, hard signal. Hood. Howmet. There's IBM. IBM. Did anyone still have any IBM? Nope. Last pieces. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at this as well. Looking to shut her down. That was a good move. I mean, it made a good move. It got up here, Couldn't get through this 270. Now it feels more like a cup and handle type thing, but next trade maybe sets up here and goes again. Great. Yeah, that definitely looks like it's done. ICE, IWM. There's MasterCard. MasterCard looks good. A lot of financials do right now. Meta is setting up. Honestly, I think it could make that run all the way back. If I put this on, if this comes, I would want to give one piece a chance to get all the way back up, and that would be a hell of a trade up to that 740 mark. You can see, look at this, right? This old resistance. That's where we really bounced from. That's right where we're sitting now. Definitely taking a real close look at that. Meta is strong from communication services. Morgan Stanley is strong from financials. Where's the next one of these? $143. Back at the old highs, right? Same kind of a thing. Yeah, there's some good stuff setting up. I think we should be excited. This pullback is just what we needed to dial in some new trades. It felt like everybody was already on cleanup mode. A couple people started putting a couple bear trades on. I feel like that's kind of, there's nothing surprising here. MSTR. I like the others better. I'm waiting. Netflix, we talked about Netflix and we're like, it's expensive, but it's going to work. And then it sure as hell did. So, NVIDIA setting up. You don't have much time before earnings, so be careful there. Palantir is singing my siren song. It's calling to me. It's telling me to come and have a trade. I'm excited for it. I'm visualizing it as we speak. It looks great. Can you see it? Philip Morris worked out okay. If you took that defensive piece. PayPal. Again, I said I thought it looked like it was, that's viable. Nice low start. So if this thing accelerates, you have your chance. It's kind of, financials, communication services adjacent. There's the Q. So you can see, right, that the bullishness is here. It's hard for things to drop right now. Roblox was a beautiful trade, waiting for the next pullback. Reddit. Dunzo. I basically washed. What I made on one side, I lost on the other. Yeah, it was kind of a funny trade. What are you going to do? Some of you made money, so congrats. I love it that you did that. It makes me super happy. Rivian looks overextended. Rocket Lab overextended. RTX overextended. Look at even now with all the strength on our list. There's things that need to pull back. TPR pulled back. That one looks fine for a retail trade. Tesla overextended. If I could get there, Tesla overextended. Closed MSTR yesterday. Okay. TSM looks like it's setting up as well. Twilio. How's the VIX look today? That's what it looks like. That's the fear. Oh, we're scared that the trade tensions are ramping up. Are we? Are we scared of that? I don't think we are. I think we look quite tame, in fact. And this little upswing here is setting up a little touch near 20 where it rolls over, gets us back into the teens where we love it. We would love to get back into some calendar spread action down in the 15s. We haven't done that since last year. Yeah, I don't think there's anything about this at all that looks too concerning. Anybody? You agree? Disagree? I think we're great. Great. Walmart. Not much there though right now. Fabulous. I think we'll have alerts. I think we're going to have to carry some trades through the long weekend. I'm pretty sure we'll see some new alerts set up here this week, it feels like. So manage what you have. Wrap up the rest of whatever's bullish. If you put on a hedge, keep an eye on that. And be ready to get the next window in place. Our posture's improved. We're, not much this week, but yeah, we may see a few weeks pause here, this 2 to 3 level, and then see, do we break up to the 4 or 5 level? Do we, that's what we're going to be watching for, hoping for. As far as our trading plans go, we're really focusing on section 2 this week with market forecasting. So all the things that we normally do with understanding the various components of the market. What does it give me for my posture score, the momentum? How do I assess that? How do I then move to trading posture, which is my now what? What are the things that I can have in place based on my posture? Types, lengths, risk, strategies, tactics, and of course, hedging. Now, El Jago said, can I talk a little bit more about hedging? So I have a pretty standard practice. When I look at a hedge, I like to go 5 weeks out, 5% out of the money. And what that does is it gives you like a standardized look. No matter when you're looking, it's always 5% out, 5 weeks out in time, 5% out of the money. So if right now I were looking at a hedge, I would come here, I would go to SPY. I would take the current price of 590.42. I would take the current price, let me see here, of 590.42. Lost my train of thought, you guys. I would multiply that by 0.95. That's my strike. 560.89 is, so I wouldn't, obviously I'm going to go to 560, and then I would go 5 weeks out in time. So let me just kind of show you what that looks like. That would be add simulated trade 37 days. So I would go out here to the June 27s in SPY. And I would be thinking puts at 560, bam, $4.35. Even now, they're still pretty inflated. We've seen those things at $1.75. If the volatility is down at 12, 14%. So, that for me is, that allows me to then get hedges that are consistent, so I can kind of evaluate, is this a good time? How does this look, etc. So, all right. Well, it's good to see everybody. We'll give you back 5 minutes here, and Glenn will be here this afternoon for an hour. Tomorrow, same thing as usual. The rest of the week's the same as usual. It's not till next week that we have any change. Definitely keep our eyes out for alerts. I think that there's a very good chance we have a couple more that come out this week. as always, happy trading.